Hello and welcome to the latest Inside MLCSU podcast. I'm Andy Downton, Head of Media at the CSU, and today we're looking at how automated innovations are helping to reduce hospital waiting times across the country. This episode is a little different. I took the chance to go to the 2023 Digital Healthcare Show, where MLCSU's Digital Innovation Unit were talking to attendees there. So I caught up with Priyantha Jayawardane. He's the Deputy Director of the CSU's Digital Innovation Unit, to talk about one of their projects in particular. But before that, we start talking about the unit itself.
So the Digital Innovation Unit's kind of a mission is to introduce new innovative solutions like these chatbots to NHS to improve productivity, because NHS has been kind of operating traditionally for so many years. Now it comes to a situation, do nothing is not an option. They have to use digital means to improve productivity and also prevent patients going into hospitals or emergency portals unnecessarily. So what we are trying to do is introduce solutions to prevent people being admitted to hospitals, or kind of early detection, so that necessary actions can be taken to prevent their deteriorating. So things like remote monitoring or sometimes digital pathways to help patients. So we don't want patients to kind of go into scenarios where if they can be treated remotely, if appropriate. So that's the kind of agenda we are trying to do. That's one side. The other side is we are also trying to introduce robotic process automation, where labor intensive, but it can be done by a bot. Those jobs can be given to a bot, and then the skilled NHS employees can concentrate on more value-added work. So that's the kind of process we are trying to do. So we have been doing that very successfully over the last few years.
One key innovation has been the use of a chatbot to help hospitals reduce their waiting lists for elective care. As Priyantha explains, it's an innovation that not only saves time, but crucially saves money as well.
If I give you a bit of background, the lot of hospital trust over COVID has kind of a long waiting list. Some patients are waiting almost 100 weeks to get treatment. So we have been talking to some of the trusts and ICBs over the last 1.5 years. They sought our help in terms of trying to address this, because they wanted to validate their waiting list. Trusts are now being asked by NHS England to validate if a patient is waiting more than 12 weeks. They need to validate each patient waiting more than 12 weeks every 12 weeks. So it's a kind of a repeated process. So it's a hugely labor intensive process using traditional methods, because the first class stamp is now about £1.10, and if someone to call a patient, it will take, sometimes you'll be able to contact the patient first effort, but sometimes you have to make so many phone calls. Every phone call is time and labor intensive. So therefore we come up with this solution to contact patients through chatbot calls. We get the patient waiting list weekly basis from the hospital. So we call it a campaign. Each campaign could have up to 10,000 patients. Monday to Friday, we call those patients. Monday, they receive a bot call. Tuesday, if they don't pick up that call, Tuesday, they again get a bot call. Same on Wednesday. Then if they don't answer those 3 bot calls, then Thursday and Friday, we offer them a traditional call through our referral management center. So the advantage of MLCSU is we are combining the kind of a technology with the human side to get the right balance, so that eventually we wanted to contact as many patients as possible, and then get the outcome from the campaign. So throughout last year, we have contacted about 75,000 patients, and we managed to contact about 80 to 82% of patients within five calls, combination of human and bot calls. And then we also managed to reduce the waiting list by 10 to 12%. Basically, 10 to 12% of the patients who answered the calls are saying either they have had their treatment elsewhere, sometimes private sector because they cannot wait that long, and some of the patients say that they don't need the treatment. The advantage of our process is if a patient just indicate that they want to leave the waiting list, we transfer that call to a human operator, and then the human operator confirms that patient decision to make sure that patient is actually meant to kind of leave the waiting list, because what we don't want is remove patients accidentally. So therefore we have some protection for those who need to leave the waiting list.
What's next? Does that evolve or does that grow?
It is evolving, because originally we were kind of using chatbot calls, but now we have introduced a web form in front of the chatbots. So before we send the chatbot calls, we will send a text message with a link to a web form, so that those who have access to web technology can respond to the same questions at their own time without having to pick up a phone call. And then if they don't respond to the web form, those who do not respond to the web form will receive a bot call. By doing that, we are reducing the cost per patient even less. So we always keep looking opportunities to kind of reduce overall cost and also bring the efficiency.
You're at the Digital Healthcare Show, talking to a lot of organisations about the work we're doing. How's it being received?
It's really good today because we had a steady flow of delegates coming and talking to us when we kind of introduced ourselves and kind of a digital productivity. We can see the light bulb moment, right? They see, these things. So this morning I was talking to one of the care home owners. So she was pretty much looking for remote monitoring solutions. So then I have explained the kind of work we did and the how the remote monitoring can help for them to improve their care provision. So they said, it's really good service we offer. If you would like to know more about Midlands and Lancashire Commissioning Support Unit, go to our website mlcsu.co.uk.